Well, hello, this is Pamela Barrett, and welcome back to the Journaling Suite. I'm so excited to have you in here because today we're going to be talking about some awesome journaling styles for teens. We're going to be talking about two in particular. One of the things that I do as part of being a journaling practitioner is I do teen creative writing or journaling workshops. Because creative writing, journaling is creative writing. And one thing I'd love to get teens to understand is why it's so important to journal. And I have been journaling since I was 11 years old. I still have that journal, and it is amazing what it tells me about myself. And I get to identify where I was then compared to where I am now. So I want to talk to you about two specific journaling styles that will help teens and why it's so important for them to journal and how these two styles are so important for them. Typically when I talk to people, it could be young adults, teens, or even older individuals, I ask them, what's your response to whether or not you journal? And a lot of times it's, well, I journal regularly, or I've always wanted to journal but really didn't know where to start. Well, this is a great place to start no matter where you are. And right now there's a lot of things that we can't make sense out of, and guess what, journaling helps us to do that. So I'm going to show you some of the ways that happens. One of the things that I use within my journaling workshop for teens is the example of Anne Frank, the Diary of Anne Frank. This helps us so much to understand why we live or how we live, because looking at the way that she lived and also how she captured everything in writing through her diary, which has become a historic document. And so a lot of times people aren't sure what's the difference between a diary and a journal. Well, if you think about it, a diary was something that was done years ago that we did, but it just depends on what you want to call it. It can be a diary, it could be a journal, it could be just a book with your thoughts or just your plans. It's all called journaling. It's all part of journaling. And so one of the things I think that's a big difference between journaling and a diary is your thoughts and your writing are more intentional in a journal than they were in a diary. So let's talk about some of the things that, people don't understand about when it comes for teens, when it comes to writing. Did you know that 85% of teens age 12 to 17 engage in some type of journaling? They do it. They do it through texting, and they do it that's their writing. There's pros that are coming out through text messages, through just taking notes on the phone. And those are things that help to improve writing skills for teens. And did you know that 80% of teens do not think of these electronic texts as writing? Well, that's exactly what it is. And 86% of teens believe that good writing is important to success in life. Think about that. So you're already writing, you're texting, you're putting things on your phone, you're giving good examples of writing, and writing is going to be so important in your future. So why not do it in a diary? Now, a lot of times people think, well, I'm doing my writing through my texting. Why do I need to write it down? There is an amazing transformation that happens when you go from your head down to a pen and onto a piece of paper when you can go back and take a look at it. It's amazing. I can't even tell you why it happens or how it happens, other than it happens. And so taking that information that you're used to texting, start with the text, but then move on to writing it in a book, in a journal. I love my latest journal. It was a gift to me, and it is so furry, and I just absolutely love it. And this is a small one that I use right now, and it's where I really capture the things that I'm really thankful for. And so you don't have to have one journal. You don't have to have one mode of journaling. You can use your text phone, use your text on your phone. You can use a book. You can use anything you want. I even do audio journaling. And so you can use your phone and you can capture your journaling, your thoughts through your cell phone in your voice, and you can save it. Now, the reason I love these books, because as I indicated, I still have my journal from when I was 11 years old. I didn't have a cell phone then. And you know what? Sometimes we lose our information in our cell phone, and that's valuable information. And so you want to make sure you at least have a backup by putting it in writing in a book. Okay. Now, there's a lot of reasons to write. And teens said that they are motivated to write when it has something to do with other than school. And so a lot of times you want to think about the things that your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, or your dreams. You know, we tend to, trust me, as you get older, you lose sight of those dreams because life gets in the way. And this way you capture them, and you can always go back to them and reinforce and start again, you know, reignite that dream, and keep yourself intentional versus just kind of going through with the flow or whatever's going on. So if you journal, go ahead and put down in the comments why you journal, because there's so many reasons to journal. I could give you a ton of reasons to journal, but what's more important is why you journal, or why don't you journal. Also put that down in the comments, because that helps me to be able to help you in understanding why it's so important to journal. So let me give you some of the benefits that I know of journaling. Journaling provides insight and self-reflection. It provides self-healing and self-guidance. You know, oftentimes we can't find someone to talk to, and we don't realize that we can talk to ourselves, and we can do that through our journaling. Not to say we're crazy because we're talking to ourselves, but it's amazing when you put it down in writing and you take a look at it, and you can come to a place of resolve just by writing it down. And there's a particular journey style I'm going to talk to you about that helps you to do that. It gives you some awareness of things that you weren't even aware of about yourself, about people, about your situation. It just gives you new perspective, and it really helps you to get through certain things that are difficult to go through. And it gives you a respect for self, because you begin to empower yourself just through reading your journaling. But first you got to write it down. And then it gives you some clarity, because when you're unsure, things seems really cloudy and fuzzy, and you just don't know what's going on or what this means. Journaling helps you to figure that out. And it's also a form of closure. If you've been through something that's been painful and there's nothing you can do about it, how do you get through that? Well, journaling helps you to do that. It motivates you and inspires you. It gives you spiritual renewal. It helps you to stay on track with things that you want to do when you tend to go off track. It just helps you to resolve conflict. There's so many things that you can do through journaling, but you never know until you start to do it. And remember, we all have problems, and your problems seem really paramount. Everybody else's problems seem paramount as well, but no one's problem is more paramount than yours. So understand the problems don't go away, but they can become bearable and more manageable when we journal. And so let's look at these two journaling styles that I wanted to talk to you about. These two journaling styles are reflective and cathartic. Now, cathartic is a journaling style that we typically do when we first start journaling. It's just spewing out all of our emotions on paper. That's just cathartic journaling. And what cathartic journaling does is it helps us to move it from our heart or in our head out on paper and get it out. And that way it's not cluttering our brains with all that. And so that is the first journaling style that people typically use, and it's the one to start with. That's the foundational journaling style, cathartic journaling. It allows you an opportunity to get it out and to go back and look at it and think about what you were going through. So not only right now, but as you look back on it in the future, you can really see exactly what you're going through. And then you can begin to identify patterns as you have a series of journal entries that are cathartic to see if something's going on that may need to be addressed and may need to be changed. So that's cathartic journaling. So when do you journal cathartic style? Well, you do cathartic journaling when you're really excited and you really want to not lose that moment, so you journal it. Also, when you're angry, when you got anger going on, that is an excellent time to take that energy and put it down on paper. And that way you're not using that anger in an unhealthy, ineffective way. And another way to use it, another time to use cathartic journaling is when you're afraid. When you're afraid, it is so helpful to put it down and look at it, because it helps to reduce that amount of fear that you have when you can get it down on paper. So those are excellent reasons to do cathartic journaling. So when you think about other styles of journaling, the next one I want to talk to you about is reflective. Reflective journaling is an opportunity for you to reflect on experiences that you've had. And they really help you to learn lessons about yourself, about people, about life, about the direction that you're going in, because you're reflecting on things, you're stepping back, taking the time to think through it rather than reacting to it. So I always say that reacting is a form of emotion, whereas responding is a form of thought. When we can take a situation that's emotional and take it down and write it and go back and reflect on it and write what we've reflected upon, that is an opportunity for us to grow and to change, to move in the right direction. And so it not only is a great thing to do for self-reflection, to think about where you are and where you're going, but also to help you strategize your next steps. It's amazing. I use it and it's absolutely wonderful. So here's a couple examples of some questions that you can use for reflection. And one of the first questions is, what did I learn today? When you do this every day and you go back and look at it at the end of the week and then at the end of the month and look at all that you've learned, you can begin to take what you've learned and apply it to your life. And another question is, how does this information impact me? You never ask yourself that question. It's a great question to ask. And then what am I willing to do with this information? That's another one, because then you're holding yourself accountable to growth and to change. And what plans can I put in place to change and grow? Whoa, that's when you're really taking ownership of your future, when you can answer those questions through reflective journaling. And so you've just had an opportunity to learn two really, really awesome journaling styles that you can start with. Now, there are other journaling styles that I work with that I help people to understand, but these two right here are foundational. As I said, if you have never journaled before, you've always wanted to, then these are two really good journaling styles to begin with. If you are interested in finding out more about different journaling styles, make sure you click the subscribe button below so that you can learn about different journaling styles and how they can benefit you moving forward. And be sure to click that button, the bell, because you don't want to miss any of the journaling styles videos that I do, because wouldn't you know it, it's that one video that you miss that could change your life. So go ahead and put in the comments if this is something that's been helpful for you. If you're going to go ahead and try one of these journaling styles, and let me know how it works for you, because these will help to change your life. And also, if you're interested in ongoing journaling, I do have a closed group on Facebook, and it's called The Journaling Suite. And in there, I give a regular journaling prompts to help you. And those journaling prompts will be I will indicate which different journaling styles to use to help you with that. There's so many benefits to journaling, and I want you to experiencing them, okay? This is Pamela Bird, and I am so excited, so happy that you joined me here in the Journaling Suite, and make sure you come back and let's learn more about journaling, all right? See you soon. Take care. God bless.